Hello everyone. Today we're going to be looking at strip mining, and I got this idea after seeing some mining techniques on Reddit, and I looked into it a little bit myself, and it's actually pretty interesting. So when most people calculate the efficiency of a strip mine, they look at the number of blocks you break versus the number of blocks that are revealed when you break it. And that's not a bad way to look at it, but you can actually go one step further by looking at the percentage of the time that there will actually be an ore in that block. So we're going to look into that, and the ultimate goal is going to be to prove that this design for branch mining, which I'll show you in just a second, is far more efficient than this more used design. So let's start off by looking at the efficiency of these two designs based on the number of blocks that are revealed for every block that you mine. So in this case, the blocks that we mine are represented in stone, and the blocks that are revealed are represented in the gray glass. So this design, you turn left and right every 4 blocks and mine as far as you can just the 1 block chute going out. And if we look over here, you can see that our first design, which is sort of our standard, has an uncovered block ratio of 4. And over here we have an uncovered block per mine block ratio of 4.22, which is just 5.6% more. Overall, since this design does take a little more effort, the 5.6% might not be enough for you, but as we're going to see when we look further into just how many ores you are going to get with each of these designs, this one becomes even more efficient. Okay, so now we're going to look at why the uncovered block to block mined ratio isn't really the best way to determine efficiency. And the reason for that is that ores generally don't spawn in single blocks. They spawn in 2 by 2 by 2 areas. Now occasionally an ore will spawn, say like that or like that. It's not always a perfect 2 by 2 by 2, but for the most part it's pretty close. And unless we want our calculations to become drastically more complex, we're just going to assume that it's always a perfect 2 by 2 by 2 like we see here. So once we've decided that, we can look at something like this. Imagine that this is the side of a branch mine. So if we break this block, we've then uncovered one more block behind it. But we already know that there's no ore there, and the reason we know that is because if there was, we would see other ore around it, say in a formation like this. So when we break this block, even though we are uncovering one more block, we've actually gained no information as to where ores are. So it gets a little more confusing at this point, but essentially what we're going to try to do is determine the total number of places ore could spawn and still be detected when we use one of these two designs. And to do that, we're going to assume that an ore has a single block origin point, and that from that origin point it spawns forward, to the right, and up, always. And we can do this because these are essentially symmetrical. So it's not going to matter that we chose the bottom left block as opposed to, say, the top right block here. Once we've done that, we can place light blue glass blocks wherever an ore could originate and be detected. So if an ore originated in that block there, then there would also be ore here, and we would see it when we went through with this design. And then what we do is we divide the total number of blocks here by the stone blocks that we have to mine in order to essentially reveal all of those different places. And what we end up with is a potential vein per block mined. And potential vein per block mined for this design is 8. And the potential vein per block mined for this design is 9.5, which gives you an 18.8% increase in efficiency while using this design. And there you have it. So this design will get you 18% more ores for every block you mine. And of course, there are disadvantages to this design, namely that you don't get cobblestone when you mine this way, since it'll land out there. And also it's slightly less convenient because you do have to turn and mine. You don't just mine straight forever. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that some people mine up and down. So they would mine up here 5 blocks and then sometimes to the side and then down 5 blocks. And there are a couple reasons I didn't do that. Mining down does not add much efficiency at all, and I think it's pretty inconvenient. And mining up is also not very efficient because most people make their mines at Y11 to avoid lava. And at Y11 you're really close to the top of where diamonds spawn. After Y12 it starts to decrease the chance of diamonds drastically, so when you mine up, like this, the chance that there are diamonds up here is very low, and for that reason I don't go up. But if you're making a mine much lower, say near bedrock, then mining up is also a good idea. And that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time.